Dinner for shoes, please.
Hello and welcome to an episode of Dinner for Shoes. I'm in a swimsuit, which is like kind of awkward. I just FaceTimed my mom before this and she was like, put your tits back in. So I like completely adjusted the strap. I guess they were kind of like falling out. I'm so excited. This episode has been a long time coming because I actually recorded these interviews in like April with my favorite ever swimwear designers. So you're going to get one of which I'm wearing right now. Actually, two of which I'm wearing right now because we're going to be talking about the collab that is this swimsuit, and the designer that they collabed with is also one of the swimsuit brands I'm going to mention. Okay, we got to go kind of quick today though because you have two interviews to listen to and I don't want to take up too much of your time. We're going to go speedy whilst hoping that Kit and Trish interrupt us, if that makes sense. So today's episode is called Summer Rolls and Swim Brands. Don't know. We are going to be tasting a spring roll from Bon Banh. I'm super excited. I've never had them before. They are on Washington Street in Hoboken. I really have always wanted to try a summer roll and I never have. And I was like, this would be the perfect chance. We're talking about summer swim brands, right? So we want something that's like light, but also savory, but also giving us enough protein to like sit outside by the pool all day. I wish I had a pool. I do not. But yeah. Let's talk about the shoe and then the outfit behind the shoes. And then you'll hear my favorite swimwear brands. You'll find out why they are my favorite swimwear brands of 2024 specifically. And we will dive into the food. Then you'll go listen to my interviews if you're curious. Okay. I should have said this. Actually, let's do the outfit behind the shoes. Then I'll tell you who we interviewed. No, this is the intro of a video. It should be the other way around. We are talking to Vivek, who is the founder of OOKIOH, which is like probably my favorite swimwear brand in the world. If you've ever heard of them, it's probably been for sustainable reasons. They've created the most sustainable towel that's ever existed. Their swimsuits are made out of regenerated pieces that have been rescued. Their swimsuits are made out of plastic water bottles, netting, things that have been found in the ocean that were waste. Okay, that's incredible. All of their materials, in fact, their packaging is sustainable. They are definitely the most sustainable swimwear brand in existence. And they're also so retro and so cool and very much my style. We are also talking to Hannah of Oceanus, who is another swimwear brand I absolutely love. The difference being between these two swimwear brands and what I think you will all find so interesting is that Oceanus does more of like, well, first of all, they produce in small batches. They do a lot of custom wear. They are also sustainable. They blend fashion and comfort in a way that OOKIOH, none of the other brands on the list do, because when you see these swimsuits, you will know what I mean. It is like they are embellished with jewels and sequins and just like mermaid type of finishes that you would only see like a mermaid wear, not like an everyday human, but you can wear these swimsuits in the water. You'll see this during our interview because we'll flash to it, but I did wear a Oceanus swimsuit with all my friends on my 30th birthday. I was on this boat in Charleston and this swimsuit came with gloves and I was just like decked out in these bejeweled gloves that went with the swimsuit and everyone was like, are you serious? We talked about this in the sister episode because Rachel was just like, are you serious? And I was like, I am serious. I'm sure I got a tan line, but it's worth it for fashion. Okay, let's talk about the outfit behind the shoes. So I like to brag all the time that I have personalized Tevas. Everyone wants Tevas. People try to deny how functional and fucking awesome they are, but then they wear them and they're just like, wait, these are the best things ever. When you're sightseeing, when you're on vacation, you need your Tevas. These have my initials embroidered in red to go with my swimsuit. Couldn't be more perfect. And yeah, I love them. I particularly like the one with like the tread sole that's a little bit more sturdy. I do have Tevas that are kind of like, the bottom is not quite as heavy and it's just kind of like foam. So they're, I wouldn't say more comfortable. I think these are probably the most comfortable, but these are just more stable for like activities. You know, I'm always doing activities. So these are my go-to, plus they have the initials. Okay. Hello, sweetheart. What swimsuit do you like? None? We should dress you up in a bikini. So she just like made her little debut. She's like, so Nick just got home with a plant. This will be live after Father's Day. So the plant is for his dad, and he put it outside on the porch. So now the cats are just like, whoa, what is that thing? Because like I don't get plants because they'll eat the plants. Anyway, rest of my outfit. So OOKIOH for 2024 collaborated with Lisa Says Ga, which is another one of my absolute favorite swim brands that we're going to talk about in a second. This collaboration is unreal. I'm obsessed with it. This is absolutely hands down. It's only June, but my favorite swimsuit of the summer. It has all little Italian like graphics on it. So you've got like a plate of spaghetti, you've got a bow tie pasta. What else do you have here? You've got oysters. Oh my God, you have tomatoes. You literally have a little like napkin that says Bon Appetito. Oh my God, I love it. And of course, I'm wearing it with my OOKIOH sunglasses. These sunglasses, something important to note and that we'll talk about. The packaging that they come in, the little case, is made out of the same material that the swimsuits are made out of, also from recycled materials. And these are awesome. I get so many compliments on them. They're so like retro, like I'm going to Positano. Like I love them. They're also, I dropped them before and they didn't, I mean, they hold up well. I drop everything. And finally, because I didn't want to sit here in a swimsuit, but also because this outfit is like something you would see me wear on vacation. This is like very much my vibe, just like bikini top, jean shorts. I'm wearing my new Mother denim shorts. Love them, love the length. These are super comfortable, so definitely check them out. Okay, and we will link to the exact model in the description. To finish off my outfit, I am also wearing Jenny Bird jewelry. This is brand new jewelry. I'm super excited to take it on vacation this summer. It's a shell choker that goes with these super cool seashell earrings. They are stacked on like a kind of like a wedge of shells, like little discs. They're freaking awesome. So I just thought that went so well with like the sunglasses, yada, yada. Okay, now let's quickly go on to talk about my favorite swimwear brands. Now, I want to start by saying there are swimwear brands that I love that are not on this list. And there's a reason why. I like the style of the swimsuits. I'm attracted to them. I've seen them and I've been like, oh, I want one of those swimsuits. However, I only want to talk about the swimwear brands that when I went to the websites, I saw diversity, specifically diversity in body types. And just, you know, it's not the same model over and over and over again. So diversity in race, backgrounds. So I'm disappointed when I come across a swimwear brand that I love for the style and then I go on their website and or their Instagram page, for example, and there's no examples of women with all body types wearing the suits. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you is that every single brand I'm about to mention is diverse and has body inclusivity as a main focal point of the brand. Super important. Let's go through them pretty quickly. As I mentioned, okay, Duvin Design. Love Duvin. Nick and I love Duvin. We do like a lot of like the matching, like his and her. He loves the swimsuits. They're awesome. This brand was founded by a group of lifelong friends who started the brand by selling t-shirts out of their cars during college. And it grew into what it is today, which they now have loungewear. They have great swimsuit cover-ups. Obviously, they have like bikinis for women. They're really inspired by nostalgia. So you'll definitely like see that in their designs. And they're inspired by Florida's beach culture. They have a wide range of sizes. That's very important to them. And the matching sets, like they're just very surf culture-y matching sets where it's like you've got like your cool open cabana shirt over the swimsuit that matches, right? Awesome. Frankie's Bikinis. I love Frankie's Bikinis. Founded by Francesca Aiello in 2012. They blend California's laid-back lifestyle with high-end swimwear trends. They are the site to go to if you want like an endless amount of swimsuits to scroll through and decide like, what do I really want for the summer? I would recommend going on there at the start of the summer and just kind of choosing like 2 or 3. You can always return if you don't like one in person. But what I specifically love about Frankie's Bikinis is that they emphasize sustainability with collections that use eco-friendly materials, but the models on the site are diverse as well. They show every single suit on the site on at least 2 different body types when you click onto the page. Let's take a second. Thank you. Okay. And honestly, it should be more than that. And there are sites that do have more than that. And I get that that's hard. That's a lot of cost, right? Like doing a big shoot. But I am sitting here applauding Frankie's Bikinis for their efforts. Okay, OOKIOH you're going to hear about in a second, but let me just quickly say it was founded by Vivek Agarwal in Los Angeles. What sets them apart is obviously their commitment to sustainability. As I mentioned, they use regenerated materials like abandoned fishing nets and plastic water bottles. Their campaigns are very diverse. They're known for their retro style. You'll hear a little bit about what Vivek was like very inspired by when he thought of the idea for the brand very soon. So stay tuned. Oceanus, which is another swimwear brand that you're going to hear about in a second when you tune into my interview with Hannah. They also use high quality, sustainable fabrics, and they ensure their environmental responsibility. As you'll hear from Hannah, it's very important to her. But they also are all about, meshing fashion and style into their swimsuits, which is something that you really don't see anywhere else to this level. And just one scroll through their website, you'll see. But that more to come on that. And they also do custom. Icon Swim. They are a trendy swimsuit label. They have inclusive bodies on the site, which I loved. They have really cute his and her sets, which I also love. Again, back to Duvin. I love a brand that does that. They're really inventive when it comes to like their one pieces and mallets. So if you are a one piece girl, I would definitely check out Icon Swim because there's a lot of like cutouts in unexpected places. You may not have a swimsuit, a one piece swimsuit that looks just like this. So, and they have bikinis too, but they also have cool cover ups. Like if you're into the mesh trend lately, there'll be like a mesh, like 3/4 sleeve cover up to go over your suit. Super cute. Okay, Jade Swim. They focus on luxe, minimal, and sculpting swimwear. All their suits are handmade in California. And the brand was founded by a former fashion editor and stylist, Brittany Kozerski. They also have a commitment to sustainability, which we love to see. They use luxurious Italian fabrics made from regenerated nylon when they are creating all of their suits. Lisa Says Ga, which is part of the collaboration that I'm wearing today. I love Lisa Says Ga. I would recommend going there if you just want a new site to get obsessed over to start shopping like regular everyday clothes. You'll love Lisa Says Ga. You can expect a lot of like fun patterns and prints, kind of like what I'm wearing right now, throughout the entire website. The brand was founded by Lisa Bueller, and like I just said, there's a lot of like the prints, the patterns, the retro inspiration there. And they also tend to blend fashion forward aesthetics with ethical production. So they are upfront about that if you want to read more on their website. And they have a diverse range of models in their campaigns, and they offer a wide range of sizes. You'll see this even if you go to their Instagram. We have 3 more. Riot Swim was founded by Monty Landers, who aim to create swimwear that celebrates confidence and empowerment. These swimsuits are minimalistic, but bold, so kind of like Jade Swim in a way. And they offer sizes extra small to extra, extra large, and they show a wide range of body shapes and skin tones on their site. They actually like aim to prioritize that, and they're upfront about that in their mission. Aerie. Just like Lisa Says Ga, you will probably know Aerie for, obviously they are owned by American Eagle, and they have loungewear, workout clothes. They are their own thing. They have their own, obviously like full range of ready to wear, but they are dedicated to inclusivity and body positivity. They feature a wide range of sizes from extra, extra small to extra, extra large, and they showcase diverse models in their campaigns without retouching images. And that is like what they are known for. They have their whole Aerie Body Real campaign, which we love to see, where they don't retouch the images, because why the fuck would they? Like, why does any brand retouch images? We all know it's not real. Whatever. You get my point here. Aerie's commitment to sustainability is also noteworthy. They use recycled materials in their swimwear to minimize environmental impact. Finally, we have Andy Swim. Andy Swim you might have heard of because they have collaborated with celebrities like Mindy Kaling and Easter Lawrence and more. They're a very cool brand. I actually remember when they first came out, and it was like it was 2016, I think. It was around that time. It was right when I like just gotten into the fashion industry and just started my new job. And I remember Melanie Travis, the founder, and like her team had like reached out for an interview, and they've just come such a long way since then. And it's very cool to see that they've stuck by their DNA since day one, and they're still doing it. So they actually redefined the swimwear shopping experience for women. They have a try at home program. You do not need to buy the swimsuit until you receive it at home. You try it on and you know that you like it. Their size range is extra small to triple XL. And they, as I said, you can try the swimsuits before making a purchase. I already read that. They also ensure that all women of all shapes and sizes can find swimsuits that fit well and make them feel confident and stylish. You can reach out to them if you need help or advice as to which swimsuit to try. That is like their bread and butter. And as I said, they obviously have the collaborations. Okay, so those are my favorite swimwear brands that have diversity at the first and foremost, effort. I don't think the words that I'm saying today are working. Let's talk about Bon Banh and what I got, what a summer roll even is, right? So a summer roll is known also as a fresh spring roll, but what makes it special is that it's a Vietnamese dish consisting of shrimp, pork, fresh vegetables, herbs, and rice, and it's wrapped in rice paper. And then they're typically served with like peanut-based sauce. It's because I'm Italian. What do you want? Or like hoisin sauce. And yeah, so I'm gonna see what it looks like. I see one little sauce. Also, I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, she is eating off of her plate that just had the bottom of the Teva. Where has that Teva been? And I'll tell you, it's been many places. It's been on like an ATV in Mexico. It's been many places. So here you go, okay? All you sanitary freaks. My boyfriend's like one of them. Okay, now we have protection. Oh my God, these look good. And also we have this as protection. Nick just got out of the shower. Show us your swimsuit. All right, so each one is like individually wrapped. Oh, cool. So I think you can eat this. Whoa. Okay, let me like take a picture. I've never had, it's coming out. So I got 3 different types. I got the tofu, the chicken, because I want to try all 3 of them and let you know which I like the best. But I got the tofu, the chicken, and what other one did I get? The shrimp. How could I forget shrimp? We love shrimp. Oh my God, these look so good. Babe, this might be a new place that I want to start ordering from. I can already tell. Portrait mode, I always love the portrait mode pick. I feel like people, like, I'm like the person that like still uses portrait mode and like everyone else was like done with that a very long time ago. You know what I mean? All right, what do you think, guys? What do you think I should try first? The shrimp, the chicken, or the tofu? Kit says tofu. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to try. I don't know if this is the tofu, but it's the one. Yep, this is the tofu because it's falling apart. But that I'm not letting that like change my mind about how I feel about it. Okay. Oh my God. That is so delicious. So fresh. It tastes like summer in a rice paper wrap, which I think is what it's supposed to taste like. And I think that's why it's called summer roll. Getting messy. Oh, the shrimp. Okay, the shrimp. I'm going to try the other sauce with the shrimp. Oh my God, that is so good. Oh my God, I love this. Okay. So far, shrimp has been my favorite because the shrimp is kind of sweet. And, the chicken looks good too, though. I think the chicken might end up being my favorite. Let's go back to the first sauce. I'm surprising myself, but the shrimp is hands down my favorite. I normally don't vote shrimp over like tofu and chicken, but that shrimp is very good. It's kind of sweet. I just took the cucumber out of my rice roll. You guys go ahead and check out my interview with Vivek from OOKIOH, and I'll be here. Tell us about when the idea for the brand first popped into your head and what steps you took to bring it to life.
I think it was like 2017-ish sometime. I had this whole midlife crisis and I'm like, I have to start a fashion brand. I love fashion. I was as a growing up as well, but like I'm from India, so you get 2 options. to become an engineer or a doctor. I became an engineer, but then like that thing was always there. Like I have to do something in fashion. And during my masters in upstate New York, I was under the mentorship of Richard Baker, who's the owner of Saks, and he just gave me free access to everybody I wanted to meet. I was obsessed with J. Crew at that time, and he like just texted Mickey Drexler, like, go and meet Mickey. And I met Jenna Lyons there, like the works. And that sort of, sort of reignited my passion. I'm like, I have to do this. So after, working for a couple of years in Chicago, developing malls, I'm like, I have to get into fashion. And then I started doing some research on what I want to do. And it's sort of all, I feel like it's all, the dots all connect together at some point in your life. So growing up in India, like the first international brand that came in like early 90s was Benetton, which is an Italian brand. And the second brand that came after this, like a year after Benetton, was Esprit. So I was like, those were the first two international brands that I saw in India. And I was just sort of very obsessed with them, especially like their advertisements, which were always sort of very fun, very sort of colorful, sort of brought a smile on your face every time you saw the ads. And that sort of just stayed with me. So when I kind of was, thinking of something like that's what I wanted to do, I was like, I saw these ads in the late aughts, where the models were very serious. And I'm like, I don't want that. I want back thing where I just see a model, see all the 90s supermodels. They're always smiling in their ads. It sort of changed around the late 90s, I think. And so that's what was the driving thing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. That's the kind of brand I want. And, then my engineering kicked in. I did a lot of research and I figured like Swim is that one brand. There are a lot of small players, but there's no big competitor. You pick up any brand, like any other sort of category, whether you take jeans, there's Levi's, you take yoga pants, there's Lululemon. Every category has a really big player. And to me, that meant a lot of marketing dollars to compete with them. I'm like, I don't have those marketing dollars, so let me, pay at a field where I can compete. And was sort of the idea. Is, okay, I'm gonna start with Swim, then we're gonna build up the brand and become an Esprit or a Benetton of the new age. That's the thought process, and that's how it started.
That's amazing. I mean, you had all of the engineer experience, it sounds like, whereas someone else who just has the idea, they may not feel as confident to go for it without that experience.
The engineering part, I think it came in handy just in the research part of it, like, just how you sort of, look at things objectively. And like for a 6 months, I reviewed every article on Vogue, on Pop Sugar, you name it. I was looking at every swim review and figuring like, what is it the editors are complaining about? Like, let me figure out that thing. And then that's how it came together. Like that analytical skill came in handy. Other than that, probably nothing. I haven't used my engineering skills in a while now.
It's so smart. And I mean, one of like the major selling points, and I think something that I remember when I first discovered the brand, everyone was talking about was that it is sustainable and eco-friendly and that you use 100% regenerative materials. And you do that, you work with an Italian mill, right? So how did that collaboration kind of come to be? And what has the partnership been like?
It's surprising now. Like now you look back at 2019, it seems like forever. And when we launched, there were just 3 or 4 brands which were doing sustainable.
Yeah.
This was Stella McCartney, there was Mara Hoffman, and a couple, Vitamin A.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 or 4 brands doing that. And, first and foremost, I knew I had to do something, which was sustainable because it just doesn't, I thought those were like the baseline, like you have to do something. Why would you make anything else?
Right.
And so I looked at all these 3 or 4 brands and I have to find like a competitive landscape. Like how do I, because Mara Hoffman is amazing. I love her design, but I'm like, but if I have to compete with her, I need to find something different. So I did my research. I've met her a couple of times. I've always told her like, you literally inspired me to start this brand. And
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. But like, it is what it is. So I cannot compete with you. I have to find a different sort of competitive
like a niche.
That was pricing.
Yeah.
And so, I just kind of looked around. I found this mill, and I just reached out to them. It took a lot of calls, and then tried out their fabric. It's pretty amazing. I'm like, let's do it, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, it's like you lucked out.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing because that time it was just a whole new concept. It seems pretty prevalent. Everybody's doing it now, but like just 6 years ago, there was 3 or 4 brands doing it. And we've been working with them for the past 4 years. 2 years ago, we changed the fabric.
Okay.
So now we work with the Reprieve, which is a different company, but they offer a fabric which has 4-way stretch compared to the earlier one, which had 2-way stretch. So now our suits fit better. They're still 100% regenerated, but they just fit better.
That's amazing. And you're also you're striving to become like a completely plastic-free brand, right? So where are you on that timeline?
So for swim, we have become completely plastic-free. But we introduced these 2 new products last year, and like we were on time of being plastic-free by 2022. But then last year we introduced 2 new products, towels and the sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
And just because we wanted, because of the MOQs, the poly bags that the towels come in, they are not sort of regenerated or recycled plastic. That's the only plastic we have. But I'm hoping that as we scale and we are able to make more towels, then I can sort of change that as well. But we are almost there. We achieved that goal, but then we just went a step further and had to pull back a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to talk about the towels and the sunglasses in just one second, but I mean, it was so worth it because that literally shows this expansion of your brand and your ideas. So it's, everything's a process, right? So I support that decision.
Thank you.
But let's set the stage a little bit before we get into the towels and sunglasses and just talk about how, like we were talking about before, OOKIOH has this like inimitable 70s retro look to it. Did you have any like references aside from, I know you said like Benetton, like that was like your inspiration for the colors and everything, but did you have any inspirations, maybe historical inspirations that you were looking at when you were like, okay, I want to go this retro 70s route?
Yeah. Well, so, like I'm a 90s kid. I'm inspired by Baywatch, and, Cindy Crawford and Chrissy Turlington, like those were the sort of inspiration. And that was sort of the core of it. Like I just, that's what I ran with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what happened is after a couple of years, I realized that, okay, there are a lot of brands doing 90s nostalgia. So we need to sort of shift gears. And then we started sort of doing other. So for 2020, we had a lot of 80s inspiration. For 2021, we had a lot of 70s reference. But we started now tweaking it around because I'm like, 90s is done to death with. Like we can't use that anymore. So we're sort of working around other decades now. I'm like, let's figure out a way.
Love that. Okay, let's talk about the towels and the sunglasses because this was a more recent expansion for you. And I want to know, like, what makes them unique and why are you so excited about them right now?
It's funny because I think of all the 3 products that we love, I'm most proud of the towels. It's the most boring product, but I'm most proud of them because we have made the most sustainable towel in the world. Like I don't know of every towel brand, but I think we have the most sustainable towel. At least I can definitely assure you have the most sustainable towel in the US for sure. So that to me, when you're making a product which one uses every day and you kind of make the most sustainable version of that, to me, that's a game changer. And I'm hoping that, we are able to scale and sort of create more impact when you make the most sustainable version of a product that one uses every day. I'm pretty excited about that. Same with our sunglasses. I think, we make our sunglasses in Italy. It's in the same factory that makes Balenciaga and the Cutler and Gross sunglasses, but probably much better materials than them. We use like Zeiss lenses, completely bio-based products. In fact, the cases that we use, that's made from our swim fabric.
Love that.
So it's the same recycled fishnet fabric that we are using for the cases too. So I'm pretty excited, and I think there's a lot going on. We are working on new styles of design, just going through the whole process of it, just trying to figure out what's next.
That's awesome. I think like what's so great about it is that, you have a shopper come to the site and it's like, why not also get the towel and the sunglasses that matches with the swimsuit that you're purchasing, especially when it's like the most sustainable towel in the world. The aesthetic is all there. You probably feel so great when like you see that happen.
Absolutely. That was the plan, is to sort of start building up that lifestyle brand out of it. Yeah.
I love that. Can you share anything, like any plans you have to expand even more?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I'm always sort of working on like 10 different product categories. It's just a matter of like the whole supply chain part. Like, just to give you an example, I've been working on hats for past 3 years, just like the regular baseball hat.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, almost all, like 99.9% of the hats have a plastic visor inside. So it has taken me 3 years to find a supplier who makes the visor without plastic inside.
Wow.
Because, we just don't question that. And there's a plastic inside. And so it took me 3 years to figure that out. So I'm always sort of working on other ideas. Also at the same time, we're trying to expand the brand beyond summer. So, working on different product categories that we could potentially sell in fall or spring. We're just working on different categories right now.
Got it.
Like, cover-ups and even sarongs for that matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing is people are traveling year round, right? So like, it's
Right.
not like there's really ever, I mean, I'm sure there are definitely slow periods, but people always like want a new swimsuit. But the hat thing is both inspiring and disappointing and frustrating at the same time, because it's like, it's taking 3 years to produce a plastic-free sustainable hat. Like, that's very frustrating.
It is. And I was like, this is the easiest. And the idea was like this. I just want some easy winning products, which I don't have to sort of re-engineer. But I'm like, holy God, this is Hannah has just taken me 3 years to find a bag for it.
Yeah. Well, as the founder, do you have any moments, any like maybe customer feedback, any celebrities wearing your suits that just really stuck with you and like keep you going and inspire you?
It's one of those things. Initially, I was, obviously because I come from a non-fashion background, so the initial sort of hype was pretty amazing. When you get your first press,
Yeah.
it was a whole different high. And you see your first celebrity sighting, and I'm a huge Jennifer Lawrence fan. So the moment I saw her quote, like she loves the Portland shores, I was beside. I was just like shouting out aloud, like this is happening. But that sort of evens out gradually. You just like realize, okay, this is part of the game now. Like we sort of get adjusted to it. But I think the high that gives me, that sort of really sort of gives me the kick now is, every other day, like you see, even like a celebrity or a customer or a model, like wearing your suits after 4 or 5 years. And to me, that's the biggest high, because I'm like, we are a sustainable brand. If we are able to deliver a suit for $100 that people are wearing after 5 years because they can still wear it, as the quality is still there, and they feel like it's stylish enough that after 5 years they can still wear it, I won the game. So to me, that's the biggest high I can get today.
100%. And I think that is, I mean, one of my questions was like, what do you feel sets OOKIOH apart? But I think that that is what it is, because I was going through my own swimsuits. I always go through my swimsuits, and I like honestly try to donate them to my friends or whatever. And OOKIOH is the only brand where I do not want to donate even my first suit that I got years ago. Like, I am still wearing it.
Thank you.
It is still good quality, and it is still cool. It's still cool.
Yeah, thank you. So I actually, it's like just yesterday I saw some images from Stagecoach, and there's an actress who was wearing our 2019 collection with the red buckle.
I have that one.
Made me so happy. Yeah, that just made me so happy. I'm like, we just released a collection in the blue after 4 years, and people are still wearing the red one. I'm a happy camper.
Yes, yes. And so I think, like, for me at least, and I know this isn't maybe for everyone, but you were talking about being very inspired by campaigns when you first started out. And I love your campaigns. I feel like seeing the way the models wear the suits on the site inspires me to be like, I want, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to necessarily need to be wearing that suit, but I like that aesthetic. So how do you like kind of keep your campaigns consistent, come up with new ideas, and make sure that like the models and it feels colorful, inclusive, happy, and totally like your brand?
I think the easy answer is we have the same team from the day one. So that just sort of keeps the consistency. Like, Camilla, who's the creative head, has been there from day one. So he, keeps them to make sure, we're sticking to the brand. I do get sometimes have some crazy ideas. Like, like I was in India, I'm like, why not shoot in India?
Yeah.
So, but she made sure, and, because of the time difference, she made sure she was present at the dinner time in her LA, and she like making sure, I follow and then we do those shoots and have those poses to make sure it's consistent. So a lot of props to her, and, I think also, just like we have a pretty clear sort of aesthetic, and it just helps when you have that. It's just easy, it's just like when you know what you are, then everything makes it it's easier to sort of carry that forward.
I totally agree. And it speaks a lot to like your company too, that you still have people who are working there since day one, and they still remember like what the DNA is,
And it's like it's the same like 3 or 4 people who have been there from day one. So I don't it's very rare that somebody has left, or unless, they had unfortunate circumstances, it's all the same thing.
I love that. Well, so can you speak to, I'm not sure if you have this data or if you can kind of just give like roughly what have been some of your most popular, either silhouettes, actual pieces, and why do you think that they're bestsellers?
I think the number 1 and 2 products are the Monaco bottom and the Coma top. And that's the only style we have actually repeated every year. Like we actually like change our collection pretty much every year. It's almost like a whole collection because we're redoing everything. But Monaco and Como are the only 2 pieces we have like made every year from day one. And I think there's something to you, like that's the core of. I think somehow they represent the core of OOKIOH's brand, which is there's a nostalgic vibe to those 2 rings in the Monaco bottom.
Yeah.
But we sort of change the placement of the rings. Usually, if you see all those, like that ring bikini has been there since the 60s.
Yeah.
And it's like Jane Birkin wore them, like in one of her French movies. But what we did is change the placement of the ring. Instead of having them on the hips, like on the sides, we put them sort of in the front, and just worked on the sizing a little bit, and I think it just worked out very beautifully for us. Same with the Como top. It's an underwire, top. So it's just great for support and works well with the Monaco. But what we did is put a lot of, because every brand has an underwire top. So it's not like we are rocket science, but the thing we did was, worked on the strap a lot. The strap is what just sets that underwire top, different for us.
Yeah.
because it again has a very sort of retro vibe to it, but it's a standard underwear. And that sort of combination, when you bring it together, just works like magic. And that has been there for us since day one. I think the couple of other products that has worked well, I was mentioning the Portland bottoms earlier. So we sort of reiterated that to a Surfrider bottom a year later on. That is another one of our styles which has worked very well for us.
Mm-hmm.
We keep doing the Surfrider occasionally. And I think the third style which has sort of become sort of associated with us now is a classic triangle bikini, which is the Rio and the Goa. That has worked well for us. Those are sort of 4 or 5 stars. That has been our top sellers since day one.
I'm still eating. Thank you so much for checking out my interview with Vivek from OOKIOH. How amazing is he? I'm the kind of person that talks with my mouth full. Whoops. Now go check out my interview with Hannah from Oceanus.
Yeah, so honestly, I was traveling Asia with an ex-boyfriend, and a boyfriend at the time, but now an ex-boyfriend. And we were in Bali on the Gili Islands, and I was like, and then a friend of mine had been speaking about like doing swimwear, and I was like, oh, that could actually be really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do swimwear because I always wanted to do a brand, but I didn't really like the idea of, and also I studied fashion, like I graduated with a fashion degree, but I didn't like the idea of like always having to make like patterns, because I really don't enjoy like pattern cutting, and the idea of it stressed me out. But I was really into textiles, so I loved hand embroidery and just like fusing like interesting, surface kind of textiles together that you don't normally see. So like, I know, like velvet you can swim in, and stuff like that. And then I just realized that no one was doing anything interesting in swim, so I was like, well, actually, there's something to do here, because it's it was just the same thing being repeated and repeated.
100%. And I feel like there still isn't anyone doing it the way Oceanus is. And I know that it was always kind of important to you to keep things as sustainable and as possible. So how did you kind of go about navigating that space when you wanted to have all these like wild embellishments and working with different materials? Like, how does sustainability look for the brand?
Yeah, so for me, I hate waste. So I remember hearing when people had brands, like they always got, sat on stock, and like, I was just like, I just don't want to do that. So I decided to make our model completely made to order, which some people thought I was crazy because they were like, well, no one's going to wait for it. But actually, it always works. Like, I do get it. Sometimes there's an event and people get a little bit peed off because they have to wait 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be frustrating, but I think people just know that that's how we work now. So, but if you look at it like in a sustainable way, it makes so much sense, because that's it. We make the piece to order. So there's never it means that we can have collections that are like 100, 150 SKUs, and from size extra small to like extra large, because so I do think that more designers should not be afraid to take on that model. The reason why I think a lot of people don't do it is because most factories don't want to work like that. But I literally persuaded my ones so much. I was like, please do it. And yeah, it worked out. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to get a factory that will do that. But if you can, it's amazing. And also, I studied at a university that was part of a city called Brighton, and it's like the only place in the UK that votes the Green Party and stuff. So they're really into like sustainability, and they like really drilled it into me. So when I was sourcing my base fabrics and everything like that, I always went for the recycled options and the sustainable options. I just thought that was normal, but actually at the time it was kind of like before everyone was doing that. So yeah. that's it really.
That is such a great foundation for a brand. The fact that like you didn't really know that you were choosing the sustainable option in the beginning, but then you were. And then I just think like having that model, like you said, if you can find a factory that is willing to work in that made to order way is like the number one way brands can shift if they're not already sustainable. So I commend you for that. And then I also just think like when it, at least for me, like the times that I've worn the brand, I've known that I wanted like a special swimsuit for a while. So like so many people who know about your brand, they know that they may have to like, you know, place the order and wait a couple weeks. And they're probably already doing that anyway, because they're like gathering amazing looks for a trip they have or an event, you know?
Yeah, and I do hope that also people just know that it's like a style that is timeless as well. So it's not just that one look that you just wear then. It's like you bring it out for like each vacation and stuff.
Yes.
So it's, yeah, so hopefully people understand and can be patient.
Yes. I mean, I think they totally do, just judging by the success of the brands and how well known it is. And I think like something else that makes it so just commendable. Sorry, you're going to see my cat running around. But is just that 80s aesthetic that kind of inspired you. So my question about that is just how did you come up with like, okay, I want to really lean into the 80s glamour? And were there any style icons or inspirations that were kind of on your mood board?
Yeah, I had like really gorgeous, a lot of evening wear that I was just like, oh, I love this. And then I just thought, oh my God, this would be so sick if it was a bikini, because I was always really into matchy cohorts. So, because I remember like just watching movies like Clueless and like stuff like that. Then I'm just like, oh, matchy, it's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that was it's so chic 80s. And so I cohorts like what we kind of got really known for, and just doing the fully beaded kind of sets. But yeah, I mean, I think what exactly was the 80s? Well, I think he was just fusing so many references together, just like Palm Springs, like, you know, this Americana, like all of the iconic things that I mean, I'm a 90s kid, but I remember knowing like that, or like watching in the 90s like all the 80s movies and shows and stuff, being like, oh my God, these clothes are so much cooler, I want these clothes. And like especially a lot of American shows, like I grew up on like Saved by the Bell and stuff like that, so looking at all the pastels and just like it just gives you such a, it's fun, playful, and it just gives you a really like just nostalgic feeling that you just kind of either takes you back to your childhood, or that's where that came from. And we have, you know, we're not all just that one thing. We are evolving a little bit like as we get older as a brand. Like, I mean, I love my pastels, like I love them, but I do know that it's sometimes a little bit of a young feeling. So we are slightly evolving into like, you know, women who are like 35 plus can wear the brand too now. And, you know, we've got like our calliope dresses that have the crystals and things like that. But the essence of like what I love is obviously the 80s. So, and just statement in general.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's so good to stick to your DNA and like stick to your original inspiration. I think that's like a great brand idea in general. So I know you did kind of mention the dresses, but you have obviously ventured into ready to wear. And what has the success been since then? And if you want to just talk about some best sellers on the site that you think like, you know, your fan base just loves, whether it's ready to wear or swimwear.
So the Talia dresses, the Sophia dress, the cohorts, I mean, the crystal thing has been an extension from, you know, our bikinis. That's been going every season.
Yeah.
And now it's available in a dress form. So that's the calliopes. I think the Cali story is the gold bullion sun rays, and that's also can be seen across our swim and our dresses. I would say they're bestsellers as well. we're starting to do a little bit more with like sublimation print with textile over. So that's pretty cool. Oh, at the moment, we just launched a fish swimsuit called Arizona, but it's actually inspired by Bali. I don't know why we called it Arizona. And someone commented on the thing, being like, why is this called Arizona? I was like, but that one is just super, super popular this season. So I'm like, I love this because sometimes when you do something really playful, you're like, oh, only some people are going to get this. But
yeah. Now, did you have any, I mean, through the years, obviously this has been your baby for so long, but do you have any memorable moments? Maybe it was like a comment from a shopper, not the Arizona one, but a comment that just really made you feel like you made someone's day with their design, or it could be like a celebrity placement or an editorial placement that you were excited about.
I think, well, celebrity-wise, I mean, recently we've done something so major, I can't say what it is.
Okay.
But that is the one that I was like, as soon as they reach out, I was like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, I just can't wait to share that one.
I can't wait to see it.
But other than that, I mean, it's pretty cool. Someone did send me a video of when this girl a few years ago got engaged to, and she was wearing a Sophia dress. I thought that was pretty cool because I was like, oh, nice. Yeah, I think that kind of thing. I mean, I love it. Even just like my friend's boyfriend reached out to me like just before I left Bali, and he was like, oh my God, I need to get her birthday present. Like, let's get something. You know, he was like picking from the Oceanus store in Bali, and just that's cute, like when it's like a secret present for someone else, and just like, you know. And so yeah, I think just those kind of like things. Oh, and also we did a personalized swimsuit for Jamie Winstone's wedding, and that was pretty cool. And recently she told me that she keeps it by her bedside and like stares at it.
Oh my God.
So I was like, that's so cute. So yeah, that was pretty special.
Yeah, it's moments like those that will always stick with you and kind of like motivate you to keep going. And so in saying all of that, I just feel like it's so obvious this is what sets your brand apart and like really makes it stand out in the market. Like it's basically the type of swimsuit that you would give someone as a gift or that you want to wear for a special moment. So on that note, do you have any like exciting things that are upcoming that you can share for the brand, or just kind of like anything on your bucket list that you want to do with the brand?
Yeah, so we're now starting to do more co-design collabs, which is really fun because I really love working, like kind of having a new person each season to like collaborate with, and sometimes we like, you know, get inspo from their past and where they're from, and I love that because it's just like, it's just exciting and it's always a new way to work, and I like working collaboratively as well, and to bounce ideas off each other. So, and also another thing, we just opened the bespoke side of the business. So now anyone, like even from the public, can come to me kind of like with an idea and just be like, let's, you know, can we make this happen? And I love being super, super creative. And what I want is to inspire more people to just like be as inventive as they can be, and just like have it possible to have your own, you know, garment, that your own personalized garment that with whatever you want, because without it being, we keep it quite competitively priced, like it's, you know, about, depending on what the style is and how complicated it is, it's about 30 to 40% the RRP. So it's a pretty cool way to just have a complete one-off that no one else will ever have, and also see your ideas come to life from beginning to end. So that's pretty fun to be able to do that.
Totally. And I think that like when it comes to scrolling through the brand's Instagram, or even just like scrolling on the site, they probably come up with so many ideas naturally, just seen on like what you've created already. And so my last question is just about like your personal favorite styles. I mean, I know collections come and go and you're excited to experiment or collab, but do you have any maybe like long-standing pieces in your own closet that you've just loved forever, even if it was kind of like an older piece?
the one the one that I'm most proud of is the white Cali swimsuit, because that for me is like, you know, as soon as it was sketched up, I was like, oh my god, like I had like one of those moments where I was like, wait, what? And then when you start, and I launched it, and as soon as I launched it, like the sales were like, you know, just people were going at it for that, and I was like, you know, when you're onto a winner, and you're like, oh. So it was one of those moments. But I also had, I mean, like the orca was just, that was pretty cool, because I used to always wear this orca t-shirt, which was like super 80s, and that was all, I was so into that. And also I love dolphins as well, so I used to have this little dolphin necklace that I used to wear as a kid, and so that was really fun to do at the first beaded dress in orca. That felt pretty special. And this season it's the Arizona swimsuit, because I think we've seen it, I mean, from the 80s there's loads of like fish swimsuits, but it's never been done in I hadn't seen it done in an embellished version, so I was like, that's pretty cool. And yeah, who knows what else. I mean, weirdly I don't actually wear much. I know it's so weird, I don't actually wear much of my own designs. It feels like self-promotion, and like, I don't know, it's too weird for me. So I don't actually have much of it in my own wardrobe, but like, yeah, I think, but there's certain pieces that I will start like just setting aside, because otherwise, yeah, just to kind of cherish them.
Thank you for watching that interview. I'm really obsessed with this food, so I am like gonna be here eating it for the rest of the day. But this is now my new favorite place to order from. Wow. Summer rolls and swim brands. I gave it to you. I'm now sweating. Someone find me a pool. Like, subscribe, find me a pool. See you next time.